The silent strike. The silence of deep space carried no warning of the attack. Commander Sarah Chen stood at the helm of the UES Nighthawk, her eyes fixed on the holographic display, showing the remains of Outpost Sigma-7, the research station, once home to 300 of humanity's brightest minds, now drifted in pieces through the void. "Play it again," she ordered, her voice steady despite the fury building in her chest. The AI complied, projecting the attack sequence in crisp detail. The raiders had struck with surgical precision, their ships emerging from quantum space at exactly the right coordinates to disable the outpost's defensive systems. But something wasn't right. Chen had spent 15 years in deep space intelligence, and this attack pattern seemed eerily familiar. She gestured through the holographic interface, overlaying data from similar strikes across the frontier. 7 attacks in 3 months, each precisely calculated, each leaving no survivors. "Lieutenant Park," she called out, "run a quantum signature analysis on all attack sites. Look for pattern correlations beyond standard military parameters." The bridge crew worked in focused silence as the ship's quantum computers processed the data. Chen had handpicked each member of her team, not just for their technical expertise, but for their ability to see beyond the obvious. In the complex dance of interstellar politics, the obvious was often a carefully crafted illusion. The holographic display suddenly shifted, revealing a complex web of energy signatures. "Commander," Park's voice carried a note of discovery. "We're seeing quantum resonance patterns that match consortium technology." Chen's eyes narrowed. The Galactic Consortium, a coalition of the galaxy's most advanced species, had always maintained a facade of neutrality toward human expansion. But these attacks bore their fingerprints, hidden beneath layers of misdirection. "Explain," Chen demanded, her fingers dancing through the holographic interface to enhance the quantum signatures. "The attacks appear random at first glance," Park continued, pulling up a 3-dimensional map of human space. "But when we analyze the quantum wake patterns, there's a consistent signature. These weren't independent raids. They're part of a coordinated operation using advanced consortium phase shift technology." Chen felt a chill run down her spine. The consortium had always viewed humanity's rapid expansion into space with barely concealed disdain. Humans were the newcomers, the upstarts who had achieved in centuries what had taken other species millennia. But open aggression, this was unprecedented. Cross-reference these attacks with all major human technological breakthroughs in the past 5 years, Chen ordered. The holographic display shifted again, revealing a pattern that made her blood run cold. Each attack had targeted facilities researching quantum consciousness transfer, artificial gravity manipulation, or dark energy harnessing, technologies that would put humanity on par with the consortium's eldest races. "They're trying to keep us in check," she muttered, more to herself than her crew. But why now? Why risk exposing themselves? The answer came from an unexpected source. "Commander," the ship's AI interrupted, its voice carrying an unusual urgency. "I've detected a quantum burst transmission from the debris field. It's heavily encrypted, but the signature matches consortium diplomatic protocols." Chen's eyes narrowed. "Decrypt it. Priority override." The message that appeared in the holographic display was brief, but its implications were staggering. Phase 1 complete. Human expansion contained. Proceed with Initiative Omega. Send everything we've found to Fleet Command, Chen ordered, her mind already racing ahead to the next move. And set course for the Arcturus Research Station. Whatever Initiative Omega is, we need to be ready. As the Nighthawk's quantum drives spun up, Chen studied the debris field one last time. The consortium had made their move, thinking humanity would be too blind or too weak to recognize the threat. They were about to learn just how wrong they were. The quantum gambit. Dr. James Rodriguez stood in the heart of Arcturus Station's quantum computing core, surrounded by streams of data that flowed like liquid light through the air around him. The facility, hidden within an asteroid in the outer reaches of the solar system, represented humanity's best-kept secret, a research center dedicated to pushing the boundaries of what was thought possible. Run simulation sequence Delta 9 again, he instructed the quantum AI, his dark eyes fixed on the complex patterns forming before him. The data streams shifted, coalescing into a model of galactic political and military movements over the past decade. The arrival of Commander Chen's report 3 weeks ago had confirmed what Rodriguez had long suspected. The consortium wasn't just trying to contain human expansion. They were preparing for something much bigger. Dr. Rodriguez, a voice called from the entrance to the core. He turned to see Dr. Maya Patel, the station's head of stenopolitical analysis, striding toward him. You need to see this. Maya's holographic display showed a series of seemingly unrelated economic transactions across consortium space. To most observers, they would appear as normal market fluctuations, but Rodriguez saw the pattern immediately. They're liquidating assets, he said, his voice tight with concentration. Converting physical resources into untraceable quantum currency. The kind of moves you make when you're preparing for war, Maya finished, but not a conventional one. The scale of these transactions suggests they're building something massive, something they don't want anyone to notice until it's too late. Rodriguez nodded, his mind already racing through the implications. The consortium had always viewed humanity's rapid technological advancement as a threat. Our ability to adapt, to innovate in ways their ancient civilizations had long forgotten, terrified them. Show me the latest quantum consciousness transfer test results, he requested. The holographic display shifted, revealing data from experiments that would have been considered impossible just a few years ago. Humanity had discovered that consciousness itself could be quantized, transferred, and even enhanced. It was the kind of breakthrough that could reshape the balance of power in the galaxy. They're not just trying to stop our expansion, Rodriguez realized, the pieces finally falling into place. They're trying to prevent us from achieving our full potential. Initiative Omega isn't about containing us. It's about fundamentally altering what it means to be human. Maya leaned against a quantum processing node, her expression grim. We've detected unusual energy signatures from their quantum research facilities. They're pushing their technology to its limits, but for what purpose? Rodriguez gestured to the holographic display, expanding a particular data set. Look at these patterns. They're not just developing new technology. They're trying to rewrite the fundamental laws of consciousness itself. The question is, why target our research specifically? The answer came from an unexpected source. The quantum core's AI suddenly pulsed with a new pattern, its photonic matrices reconfiguring as it processed an incoming data stream. Priority message from Commander Chen, it announced. The Nighthawk has intercepted consortium communications, suggesting they've discovered something about human consciousness that terrifies them. The holographic display shifted, showing fragments of decoded transmissions. Rodriguez's eyes widened as he read through them. They'd found that human consciousness has unique quantum properties, properties that make us fundamentally different from every other species they've encountered. Different how? Maya asked, stepping closer to examine the data. Our ability to adapt, to change, to evolve. It's not just biological. It's quantum mechanical. Every time we face a challenge, every time we innovate, our consciousness creates new quantum pathways. We're not just evolving physically. We're evolving on a fundamental level of reality itself. The implications were staggering. The consortium wasn't just afraid of human technological advancement. They were afraid of what humanity might become. Echoes of betrayal. The Galactic Council chamber on Centauri Prime hummed with tension. Ambassador Elena Santos stood before the assembled representatives of 20 different species, her posture relaxed, but her mind sharp as a razor. The evidence she was about to present would shatter centuries of diplomatic relations. Distinguished representatives, she began, her voice carrying easily through the vast chamber. I come before you today with evidence of a conspiracy that threatens not just humanity, but the very foundation of galactic civilization. The holographic display behind her came to life. showing the complex web of quantum signatures and economic transactions that Rodriguez and his team had uncovered. For the past decade, certain members of the consortium have been orchestrating a campaign of systematic sabotage against human colonies and research facilities. Murmurs rippled through the chamber. The consortium's representative, a tall, ethereal being named Zarix, rose to object, but Santos was already moving to her next point. But this isn't just about humanity, she continued, her voice cutting through the growing noise. Our investigation has revealed something far more disturbing. The same forces behind these attacks have been manipulating multiple species, playing us against each other while pursuing their own agenda. The holographic display shifted again, revealing a pattern of corrupted trade agreements, manipulated scientific data, and orchestrated conflicts. Santos watched as understanding dawned on the faces of the assembled representatives. The consortium's carefully constructed web of control was beginning to unravel. The question we must ask ourselves, Santos pressed on, is not why they fear humanity's potential. The question is, what gives them the right to decide the evolutionary destiny of any species? In the silence that followed, the quantum communicator in Santos' pocket vibrated. A message from Rodriguez. The signal had been sent. Even now, human quantum AIs were spreading through the Galactic network, revealing the truth to every connected world. The consortium's conspiracy was exposed, but this was just the beginning. As Santos looked out over the assembled representatives, she knew that the real battle, the fight for humanity's future, was about to begin. The human variable. The quantum defense grid surrounding Earth pulsed with new energy as Commander Chen's fleet materialized from hyperspace. The Nighthawk sensors immediately detected the massive changes that had occurred during her 3-month deep space mission. Earth's orbital space was now filled with structures that defied conventional physics. Humanity's response to the consortium threat had been swift and decisive. Status report, Chen commanded, studying the holographic tactical display. Rodriguez's quantum consciousness network is online, Lieutenant Park reported. Every human ship and station is now linked through quantum entanglement. We're thinking and reacting as one, while maintaining individual consciousness. This was humanity's answer to the consortium's attempt to control their evolution, not to fight it, but to transcend it on their own terms. The quantum consciousness network allowed humans to share thoughts, experiences, and innovations instantly across vast distances, creating a collective intelligence that grew stronger with each passing moment. Incoming transmission from Arcturus Station. The AI announced, Dr. Rodriguez is ready to begin Phase 2. The holographic display shifted, showing Rodriguez standing in the quantum core. Commander, he greeted, his expression serious but excited. The consortium fleet is exactly where we predicted they'd be. They still think their quantum jamming technology can blind us. Chen allowed herself a small smile. They don't realize we've evolved beyond conventional quantum communications. Exactly, Rodriguez confirmed. Their entire strategy is based on fighting the humanity they think they understand. They have no idea what we've become. The tactical display updated, showing the position of the massive consortium fleet gathering at the edge of human space. Their ships were technological marvels, the product of millions of years of development. But they were about to learn that age didn't always equal advantage. Begin the operation, Chen ordered. Across human space, quantum processors spun up to full power. The consciousness network hummed with shared purpose as humanity prepared to demonstrate just how far they'd evolved. The first sign that something was wrong came from the consortium's flagship. Its quantum drive suddenly fluctuated, its carefully maintained energy patterns disrupted by something its ancient systems couldn't comprehend. Human consciousness, channeled through the quantum network, was reaching directly into the fabric of space-time itself. They're realizing their mistake, Rodriguez observed, watching through the quantum feed as confusion spread through the consortium fleet. They thought they could control how we evolved, but they never understood what makes humans unique. Chen nodded, watching as the tactical display showed more consortium ships experiencing mysterious malfunctions. "We don't just adapt to survive," she said. "We adapt to thrive. Every challenge they've thrown at us has only made us stronger." The quantum network pulsed with shared triumph as the truth became clear to the consortium. Their attempts to contain humanity had forced them to evolve faster, to innovate in ways they never would have otherwise. The very pressure they had applied had created something beyond their worst fears, a humanity that could reshape reality itself. "They're powering up their primary weapons," Park reported, but there was no concern in his voice. Through the quantum network, every human knew they had already won. "Let them," Chen replied. Her consciousness merged with the collective will of humanity. "It's time to show them exactly what they've created." Across the galaxy, on every world that had witnessed the consortium's manipulation and control, quantum signals carried the truth. Humanity wasn't just fighting for their own future. They were fighting to break the chains that had bound all species to the consortium's vision of how the galaxy should evolve. The final confrontation was about to begin, but it wouldn't be fought with conventional weapons. It would be fought with the most powerful force in the universe, the unlimited potential of human consciousness, united and unleashed. When stars remember, the fabric of space itself seemed to hold its breath as humanity's quantum consciousness network reached its full potential. Commander Chen stood at the helm of the Nighthawk, her mind connected to millions of others through the quantum web that now spanned human space. Through this vast network of shared consciousness, she could feel the determination of every human being. Their collective will focused on this singular moment. "Consortium fleet is launching their primary attack," Lieutenant Park announced, his voice calm despite the massive energy signatures blooming across their sensors. The ancient aliens had brought their most powerful weapons to bear: planet killers, reality warpers, technologies that had subdued countless civilizations before. But humanity had changed the rules of the game. Through the quantum network, Rodriguez's voice echoed in every human mind. "Initiating final phase. Remember, we're not just fighting with technology. We're fighting with understanding itself." The consortium's weapons fired, reality warping energies surging toward Earth and its colonies. But where these weapons had once torn worlds apart, they now met something entirely new: human consciousness, expanded and evolved, reaching into the quantum fabric of space-time itself. "Now," Chen commanded, and humanity responded as one. The quantum network flared with collective will. Every human mind, linked but distinct, contributed to a fundamental reshaping of reality. The consortium's weapons didn't just fail. They were absorbed, understood, and transformed. Through millions of interconnected human consciousness, the very laws of physics were being rewritten on a local scale. Impossible, came the transmission from the consortium flagship. "This level of quantum manipulation requires millions of years of evolution." "No," Chen responded, her voice carrying the weight of humanity's collective understanding. "It requires the ability to embrace change, to adapt, to see beyond the limitations you've placed on yourselves, something you forgot how to do eons ago." Through the quantum network, every human could see the truth. The consortium's greatest weakness wasn't their technology or their strategies. It was their fear of change, their desperate need to control and contain rather than grow and evolve. The battle unfolded across multiple dimensions of reality, but it wasn't fought with traditional weapons. Human consciousness, infinitely adaptable and endlessly innovative, rendered the consortium's ancient weapons useless. Their reality-warping technologies were turned back upon themselves, not through force, but through understanding. "They're attempting to retreat," Park reported, but Chen could feel through the network that it was already too late. The quantum consciousness network had spread too far, touched too many minds across too many worlds. The truth was spreading faster than light itself. The age of the consortium's control was over. In the Galactic Council chamber, Ambassador Santos watched as representatives from dozens of species witnessed humanity's transformation. But instead of fear, she saw something else in their eyes: hope. Hope that evolution didn't have to be controlled, that change didn't have to be feared. "The consortium fleet is standing down," Rodriguez announced through the network. Their quantum signatures are collapsing. They're surrendering. Chen allowed herself a small smile as she felt the collective relief and triumph flow through the quantum network. Humanity had faced extinction and emerged stronger, not through superior firepower or ancient technology, but through their unique ability to adapt, to innovate, to transform. The stars themselves seemed to shine brighter as the quantum network pulsed with shared victory. The consortium's attempt to contain humanity had failed, but more than that, it had catalyzed a transformation that would reshape the galaxy. Send the final message, Chen ordered, and through the quantum network, humanity spoke with one voice to their defeated adversaries. We never wanted to rule. We only wanted to grow. Now perhaps we can all grow together. As the consortium ships powered down their weapons, Chen looked out at the star-filled void. The galaxy was entering a new age, not one of control and containment, but of unlimited potential and endless possibility. Humanity had proven that evolution couldn't be contained, that consciousness itself was the greatest force in the universe. The stars would remember this day, not as a victory of one species over another, but as the moment when the galaxy learned that the future belonged to those who dared to embrace change, to evolve, to become more than they ever imagined possible. And in the quantum network that now spanned human space, millions of minds shared a single thought. This was not the end. It was only the beginning. The end.